He is going to get something special. And he is unique in that aspect of it. And I've told you this before. I was around at the Galaxy when we negotiated the deal with Beckham, and that incredible clause that enabled him to buy a expansion team at a vastly, especially nowadays looking at it, reduced rate. And the value of that in and of itself was and is hundreds of millions of dollars. He is going to get a special deal. I'm not sure if it involves expansion teams or whatever, but he is going to get a special deal ultimately coming forward. But it's not going to be $400 million a year. And again, I don't know what Messi, in terms of going to MLS, Messi for me doesn't seem to be the type of guy that necessarily you see doing that. Cristiano Ronaldo, yes. Zlatan, it's already happened, yes. But Messi has always been much more private, much more of an introvert. And it's not that he wants, that it's all about money with Messi, but I don't think he looks at the market and the possibilities that exist by going to the U.S. in a way that somebody else does. And that's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just the reality of, I think, from afar, who he seems to be. Mosse, if you were Messi right now, and put yourself in his shoes. I know it's difficult, but put yourself in his shoes. And you had the opportunity to return to Barcelona to finish out your career, to go to Inter Miami in MLS and open up that market and do kind of what Beckham did, or to go to Saudi Arabia and play for $400 million a year. What would you do?
Well, I would not go to Saudi Arabia. Now, it's interesting that Cristiano Ronaldo is there, so if he were to choose that option, they could rekindle that rivalry in the Saudi Arabian League, which would be kind of interesting. I would probably go back to Barcelona for a season to finish out my time in Europe there, and then come to Inter Miami. But, the Barcelona option, I've given up on trying to figure out the finances of that club, but I don't understand how they could possibly afford to sign Lionel Messi. It is interesting that what's been emanating from the Messi camp, at least if you believe Fabrizio Romano, is that he does want to stay in Europe. Fabrizio tweeted that he wants to stay in Europe at least through the 2024 Copa America, which is going to be played here in the United States, which indicates that he's not going to retire from the national team. He's going to keep playing, and I wonder why the 2024 Copa America would be sort of the line of demarcation there, because then you have another World Cup in the U.S. just 2 years after that. I don't know, but nevertheless, that's what Fabrizio tweeted out, that he wants to stay in Europe one more season through the 2024 Copa America, and then we'll see. So I think it seems like negotiations are breaking now with PSG, so he's waiting on Barcelona to see if that's a viable option, and I think he would maybe go there for a year and then look to go to Miami after that. The ultimate romantic option would be for him to go back to Argentina to play for Newell's Old Boys, the team he supported as a kid that's based in Rosario. But after we saw those images of the fans outside that restaurant in Buenos Aires, I think he might have crossed that option off the list, because, if the whole point is to get away from the pressure cooker he's been in his whole life and seek some tranquility late in his career, those scenes were absolutely frightening to me. So I think that would mean gravitating towards the Miami option instead.
You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops every week. Subscribe now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. You like that clip? Well, my State of the Union podcast drops twice a week right here on my very own YouTube page. The only way to stay up to date is to hit that subscribe button down below. Size the day, and see you soon.